The 69th Annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Championships are brought to you by these participating statewide sponsors. The Wisconsin Bankers Association. Nobody does more for you than your local full-service bank. Your local Wisconsin and Upper Michigan Quality Plus Ford dealers. The Rural Company, ensuring the good life all over Wisconsin. Menards Cashway Lumber, where you save big money every day.
Jay Wilson back at WIAA Tournament Center as Championship Saturday continues in the 69th Annual State Boys Basketball Tournament. We've had one game decided so far, the Class C Championship. It was Fall Creek defeating Washburn by the final of 57-46. Paul Henning with 18 points and Mark Cota 15, leading the Crickets to the Class C title. In just a few moments, Valders and Wilmot will meet for the Class B Championship. Both teams coming into the game at 24-0. And another reminder, our tournament coverage continues again tonight at 7:30. We'll bring you the Class A title game when Janesville Craig meets Milwaukee King. But right now, we're closing in on the start of the Class B Championship game between Valders and Wilmot. Valders beat Monona Grove yesterday to advance to the finals, while Wilmot downed Park Falls to reach today's championship. Standing by for the play-by-play of today's Class B Championship game is Daryl Burnett of WLUK-TV in Green Bay. And joining Daryl for the analysis of the game, Carl Brugink, the head boys basketball coach at Clintonville High School. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment right after another break for these messages from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
One team has waited 364 days. The other has waited an eternity. And one will walk away with his first state championship when this day is done. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daryl Burnett alongside Clintonville Trucker head coach Carl Bruging. And welcome to the Class B state final game between unbeaten Valders 24-0 and unbeaten Wilmot 24-0. Should their records leave any doubt in your mind, this promises to be one heck of a matchup, Carl.
Should be a Super Bowl game, Daryl. Should be a Super Bowl game. Both very, very good teams, well-coached teams. Both have size. Both have good guard play. Ranked number 1 Valders in the state. Wilmot ranked number 2. It's a dream matchup. Should be exciting.
Wilmot got here by disposing of Turner and Shorewood in the Brookfield sectional. Then the Panthers defeated Park Falls 60-51 to win their way to the championship game this afternoon. Valders, on the other hand, topped Southern Door and Hortonville in the Green Bay sectional. Then bested Monona Grove 58-51 here last night. It promises to be a game where it's muscle against muscle, something we haven't seen a whole lot of in this tournament top to bottom.
Yes, and that's going to, of course, make it a really exciting game, and I think a well-played game, because both teams are going to be doing what they do best. They don't have to make many adjustments. You try to do what you do best anyhow, but within that framework, you always make those minor adjustments to the other team.
A near sellout crowd. That is the horn. We now go to Don Cowan for the starting lineups for this afternoon's Class B championship game.
For the championship of Class B in the 69th Annual WIAA Basketball Tournament, we'll introduce the players of both teams, the non-starters first. For Wilmot, number 51, Chuck Edmonds. Number 25, Dean Epping. Number 15, Jeff Johnson. Number 41, Eric Nowicki. Number 13, Don O'Boyle. Number 35, Craig Rensavage. Number 43, Paul Rosentreader. The starting lineup for Wilmot. at the forwards. At 6'3", a junior, number 55, Brian Ward. At forward, a 6'5" senior, number 53, Sean Megan. At center, at 6'6", a senior, number 33, Ken Russell. At the guard, at 6'2", a senior, number 45, Randy Kazin. At guard, at 6'2", a senior, number 21, Paul Hendrickson. The Wilmot head coach, Tom Regal. Number 15, Brian Dugan. Number 14, Tim Gabriel. Number 23, Paul Glazer. Number 32, Brian Jorgensen. Number 25, Dean Linsmeyer. Number 10, Chuck Pritzel. And number 12, John Zipperer. The starting lineup for Valders. At the forward, at 6'4", a senior, number 31, Joe Linsmeyer. At forward, at 6'1", a senior, number 21, Jeff Schwerer. At center, at 6'6", a senior, number 30, Dan Crystal. At the guard, at 6 foot, senior, number 22, Bob Crystal. At guard, 6'1", senior, number 24, Rick Schuler. The head coach of Valders, Dick Nelson.
And the referees for this afternoon's game, David Johnson and Al Hansen. We should have a dandy coming up. Both teams 24-0. The Wilmot Panthers making their first ever trip to the state tournament. They'll be in the maroon, crimson, white. Valders for the first time in the tournaments because of the alphabetical situation we have with the teams wearing the white and the dark uniforms will be wearing its home uniforms for the first time.
Right, they go every other year. And this year it's first team alphabetically white. Next year it'll be first team alphabetically dark.
Two very similar teams, but talking to Wilmot right before the ball game, they perhaps will not try and push it up the court against Valders.
You can feel the tension in the air, Darrell. It's here. This is where it's at.
Dan Crystal, number 30. Set to jumping off against Ken Russell. Immediately the ball on the court. This is what should have controlling for Valders. The Vikings have the ball. We're underway. Inside of Dan Crystal, and last night, in talking with Dick Nelson after the ball game, he pointed to Dan Crystal in the locker room and says, there is the key to tomorrow's ball game. Quickly, the ball goes out of bounds right in front of us here. The first turnover of the ball game of the Wilmot Panthers. Valders has it back with a 2-point lead.
Valders snuck in their half-court press that time and caused the turnover.
Wilmot, you see the man-to-man. They take a lot of pride in that. This is Jeff Schwer driving the baseline, blocked by Russell, and we immediately have a foul. That'll be the first on Russell.
Well, right away, they're taking it to the hoop, making things happen. That's how you draw the fouls. You've got to take it to the hoop.
That foul whistled on Paul Hendrickson, number 21. Looked inside to Crystal now. Fakes once, tries to get it up in the air, and we have another foul. So two quick fouls, this one on Sean Megan.
Let's take a look at it again right here on the replay. Again, kids are excited, started the ball game, and he got him up off his feet, came back with it.
Obviously, not yet on the bonus situation. Valders again with the ball underneath its own bucket. Joe Linsmeyer, who had a big night last night, turns, hits the center of the backboard. Crystal with the offensive board, gets 2. 4 points on the afternoon for Dan Crystal, and immediately Valders goes with a press.
Right, they're in the 2-1-2 that they were using last night.
Very similar to the Monona Grove game last night, where Valders broke out in front by 4, and quickly, as Monona Grove did, Wilmot comes back with 2 of its own. Inside 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. This is the championship game. Schuler shoots. No good. Rebound. Schwer drives left baseline. Now back out front to Schuler. Stirring into the man-to-man. Hoop inside to Dan Crystal. Obviously, Valders trying to take the ball right to the hoop immediately in this ball game, and we have a whistle underneath.
Valders plays well under control. You can see there, looking inside all the time, always under control.
Ken Russell, Dan Crystal will jump it off at the free throw strike. And again, we have a whistle.
I think he jumped the ball slightly, and it's going to be Wilmot out of bounds on the side. 2 super teams, Darrell. It's going to be a tremendous game.
Right now, Wilmot with the ball, down by 2. 6:35 to go here in the first quarter. Here's a shot up, blocked by Crystal. Bobby Crystal across the timeline now. Tries to take it all the way. Again, we have a whistle, and immediately Wilmot is getting into a foul situation. That's his second foul on Paul Hendrickson.
Okay, let's take another look at that. Here, Bobby comes in, and again, Hendrickson did not get his feet set. You have to have both feet down.
Third team foul. This is Rick Schuler to Crystal. Crystal drives, finds an avenue, and slides it over the left hand. First 2 points of the afternoon for Bob Crystal. Led Valders last night with 21. Here's Paul Hendrickson now, number 21.
Wilmot handling the press real well so far, trying to take advantage and turn it to their advantage.
Look for Randy Kazin to be the big gun for Wilmot this afternoon. Knocked away. And the Panthers will keep it. Kazin averaging 19 points a game coming into this tournament.
Valders is in their matchup zone here, the way it looks to start the ball game again.
This is Brian Ward. He'll pop it from way outside. Hits nothing but net. Ward tied up it. Make that 6-4 Valders right now with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. Jeff Schwer back the other way. Linsmeyer hits the boards. Quickly, this is Hendrickson now. Looking for some help on the right side. Slides at the Kazin. Fakes once, twice, puts it up. No. Rebound Crystal. And we have a whistle. It will be on number 45, Randy Kazin. Not much you could do about that. There's Bobby Crystal slid to the inside of him.
That's why you always tell the kids, no foolish fouls, because you're going to get situations in the game whether you're going to get them, whether you deserve them or not. You're just going to get yourself in a bad situation. That's why you can't afford any foolish ones, because some games you're going to get some of these other ones that you can't do much about.
This is Dan Crystal for the left side now. Can't get the bounce. Linsmeyer again hitting the offensive boards. Ball goes out of bounds, and while we have this chance, we want to remind you that this telecast is authorized under the rights granted by the WIAA. Any descriptions, accounts, or reproductions of this program are prohibited without the express written consent of the WIAA and the Wisconsin TV Network. Well, the Vikings come up short again on that shot. This is Kazin now working in the middle. The shot by Ward. No. Rebound, Bob Crystal goes out of his hands, and Wilmot will have it back.
I haven't seen Wilmot play other than the other day, but to me, I think this Kazin is one of the keys. He is a very, very good ball handler, and he does a great job of penetrating, setting things up.
This is Kazin now, the man we've been talking about. Inside to Russell, can't get the bounce. Crystal with a rebound. Joe Harris talking about the Crystals a lot this afternoon. Dan, the center, is number 30. His cousin, Bobby, also a senior, is a guard, and we have a whistle out front of the backcourt.
Okay, let's take a look at that again. That is a key foul. Wilmot needs Kazin in the ball game, and now he picked up the second one again. Early in the ball game, kids are excited. Hey, they're playing for the state championship. Many times a little too eager. That's one of the problems sometimes, Darrell, for games like this. You want the kids high, but not too high. And a problem is, the coach, how high do you get them? Kazin might be a little too high right now, trying to do too much at once.
Valders already in the bonus situation. Schuler stands at the line. He already has one more point than he had all last night. 7-4 the score. 4:36 to go here in the first quarter. That has to be a luxury for Valders to be in that bonus situation this early as Schuler misses the back end of that 1-1. And we have a whistle underneath. This one going back to the other end in favor of Wilmot. That's just the first team foul on Valders. And this is Kazin, who has two personals of his own, walking the ball up court now. This is Hendrickson, number 21. Brian Wood, number 55. Kazin sliding down the right side. Kazin slipping over the baseline with a shot from the outside. You see why he is such a pure outside shooter.
Oh, he's a super ball player. And the thing is, with his foul trouble, he's going to have to be careful. He penetrates and dishes off so well, but he could get some foul trouble. It'll take part of his offensive game away as well as his defensive game.
2 points on the afternoon for Randy Kazin. Here's Linsmeyer working on Russell, puts it up off the glass. Bodies scatter everywhere. We have a whistle again.
Okay, let's take another look at it. There's the move. No, that was very, very close that time. That was a close one, but again, I think he just might have moved. Sometimes they get pretty good position, Darrell, and then they flinch a little like we were talking the other day, and it looks like they're moving, and sometimes they realize he had his feet down pretty well, but sometimes when you bend to take the shot, your knee goes out, and the referee sees that, and you end up with a foul. But those are tough calls to make, and, you know, all you can hope is that, you know, that they're going to go right most of the time. I think that one did.
You see the stats on Joe Linsmeyer as he stands at the line. Cannot get the bounce. Russell rips the rebound, and again, you have a whistle. And immediately, the whistles are taking control of this ball game. Valders preferring to run. They cannot do that as long as you're having the whistles and the fouls underneath.
Sometimes the officials, a lot of times, in fact, will call them fairly close early to set the tone for the game. Then they've got the kids know they're watching them. Then they'll settle down and play ball.
Good point, Carl. Randy Kazin now, who had his last trip down, dishes off to Russell on the left side. Dishes it out of there. Bristol with a rebound to Schwer. Schwer cutting. Inside, and Linsmeyer, no. Rebound. There's Migan with a rebound. This is Kazin, 45 of the ball. Tries to cut back inside. The ball loose. Goes off the hands of Bobby Crystal. And Wilmot will have it.
We're going to see some turnovers with both teams running the ball up and down the court like this, but that's only natural.
That was the one thing that Wilmot pointed out before the ball game. Coach Riegel said that they had 25 turnovers in yesterday's ball game, more than he'd like to see. That's the reason they were going to slow things down a little bit as Henderson puts it up from the outside off the back of the iron. Kingsley with a rebound. Takes one, blocked out of there by Dan Crystal, and we have a whistle. It'll be on number 31, Joe Linsmeyer. That's his second.
Okay, let's take another look at that. Again, good penetration. This Kazin does a great job of penetrating. Let's take a look at it from another angle. I tell you, this TV crew is doing a super job. They're giving us 2 angles on it. I saw some pregame show they were doing, and telling us 5 cameras and doing just a super job.
Randy Kazin at the line with 2 free throws after the foul. Nothing but that. He has 3 on the afternoon. Some rumors that he might be headed for Northwestern University next year. You see he's 1 for 1 from the line, giving 2 for 2. The score is 8-7. Wilmot has gone out on top. And immediately Valders stuck with a turnover. And again, the trend, much like last night when Valders broke out to a 17-6 lead, only to see Monona Grove come back. Such has been the case the last 2 trips down, and that's the first turnover on Valders. We'll see if Dick Nelson can keep them under control this afternoon. This is Migan now. Ward with a shot from the outside. Knocked away. Schwer controls the board. Fast break now. This is the Vikings style of game. Schuler cuts back to the inside. Dishes to Crystal. He shakes and shoots hard off the glass. Ball loose. Kazin with it. And this is a track meet right now. Kazin pulls up, pops to the Jeffrey, no. Rebound, Migan, no good. Russell inside, good. 10-7. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. John Kerr, how many unanswered points do we have on that one? 3 unanswered points so far for Wilmot. Schwer, fake, shoots, no good. Rebound, Migan. The crowd coming to life for Wilmot. They sense a change inside. 2-10. This is Megan. Ward. Nice shot. Pure outside shooter.
Wilmot doing a nice job of reversing the ball, getting it to the post and going weak side immediately and getting the nice shot.
4 points for Brian Ward. He's averaging 7.2 coming into this game. Shot by Bobby Crystal has been silenced since early on in this quarter. Misses. Valders suddenly has gone cold from the outside. 12-7. The biggest lead for Wilmot so far. This time Riegel holding up 3 fingers, calling on an offense.
Valders now in a 1-3-1 type zone as they're trying to match up with them. Earlier, I think Valders was trying to play a straight 2-1-2 zone. Some people ask me, what's a matchup zone? Well, in fact, a man, you guard your man. A zone, you guard an area. A matchup zone, you do a combination of 2.
Again, Brian Ward for the outside, and that's 6 points for him, and I believe 3 in a row for the outside.
There you see it. Beautiful shot from the corner. Nice touch. Beautiful follow, too. Now, getting back to this matchup zone. In other words, they're playing a zone and guarding your area. By the same token, you try to match up. If the team has a point guard, you match up with a point defensive man. If they have a 2-1-2, you match up with a 2-1-2.
At one time, Valders led this ball game 6-2. Now trail 12-7.
14-7.
That's right. Ken Russell with a hook inside. 16-7 now.
Well, it could be interesting. Dan Crystal got in foul trouble last night. So far, first 2 times down, he's played behind the center down there as he's posting low, trying to stay out of foul trouble. He may have to try moving in front of him down there.
Brian Jorgensen is checked in the ball game, cannot get it to go. Russell with a rebound, but a bad pass. The Valders will have it back with 52 seconds left in the quarter. 16-7. Wilmot has opened up a 9-point lead. And we have a timeout on the action with the score. 16-7, 52 seconds to go. Stay with us, folks. This is a classic. We'll be back after these messages. This is your WIAA network station. Darrell Burnett and Carl Brugge back at UW Fieldhouse. You see it. Wilmot making his first state tournament appearance, 24-0. Their regular season record, 18-0. The winners in the Southern Lakes Eastern Division Championship. This is Valders with the ball. Leading some points. Jeff Schwer will toss it in for the Vikings. This is Brian Jorgensen who stays in the ball game after checking in for Joe Linsmeyer. Bobby Crystal from the outside. Finally, Dick Nelson must be saying we get the rain. 4 points for Bobby Crystal.
Now, not only it gives them 2 points, but it opens up the inside game. You've got to hit a few from out there to open up that inside game. Now, Wilmot's going to hold it. It's hard to hold it against a team like Valders sometimes because, they press you and so forth. But they're going to wait for a last-second shot here as we count down to 25 seconds.
Chuck Fritzl, number 10 in the ball game for Valders, giving the Vikings a little bit quicker lineup. This is Randy Kazin. And now the referee motioning for Valders to come out. Remember that, because if it gets late in the ball game, the referees only have to give 1 warning per ball game.
Right.
This is Crystal with a steal to Schwer. 5 seconds inside 5. Crystal all the way out the glass. Gets the roll with 1. And that is the end of the first quarter. And we've got a dandy here. 16-11. We'll return after these commercial messages from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. You see the score, 16-11. The Wilmot Panthers have opened up a 5-point lead. Valders creeping back to the tail end. And Carl, something you want to touch on as we look at the first quarter stats. Wilmot shooting 44%, Valders 29% for the field. I believe matching what Valders shot last night in the first quarter. Wilmot heating it up a little bit more from the floor at the stripe. Wilmot again out shooting Valders 67% to 33. Valders saw a 6-2 first quarter lead dwindle to a 16-11 deficit. Again, we have a call on the free throw on the jump circle, and we've seen so many of those calls in this tournament, Carl.
Right. Ken Russell jumped the ball a little bit, real anxious to go, and he jumped a little too quick that time.
Valders with the ball. Joe Linsmeyer back in the ball game. Forces it up. Rebound, Randy Kazin. He has Brian Ward down the wing. Can't find him. Taken away by Jeff Schwer. That's the 4th turnover on Wilmot. This is Schwer to Bobby Crystal. This time can't get it to roll. Nice move inside by Linsmeyer, but again, he can't get it to go either, and Valders has gone cold from the field. Here's a beautiful pass from Ward to Kazin, stripped by Schwer, but he'll get whistled for the foul.
Well, Wilmot's coming out running this quarter. Maybe after, getting on the forward Valders for quarter, they decide they can go with him. There you can see, got him right on the arm as he went by. He got a lot of ball, but he touched the arm and all with a foul. An excellent call.
We saw the tail end of that play. Credit Brian Ward for throwing a pass through 3 Valders players to get it to Kazin in the first place.
That's a very good point, Darrell.
Kazin stands at the line with 2. He has 5 points this afternoon. He's shooting 75% from that stripe. Shows a lot of concentration, a lot of poise. You see, he's 3 for 3 from the line.
3-year starter, 3-year all-conference player.
Give him 4 for 4. It's 18-11. This is Schuler now, bringing it back to the inside. This is off the Schwer. Puts it from deep in the baseline. First 2 points of the afternoon for Schwer. He had 13 last night. 18-13 now. 7 minutes even to go in the half. Kazin on the shot from the baseline. No. Rebound. Russell gets it to go, and I believe that's the second time Russell's managed to follow shots with points of his own.
Sometimes when you have a shooter like Kazin has a super touch, even if they miss, that rebound is going to be, we always like to say, a reboundable shot. You're going to get a close rebound, and that's what happened there.
Dan Crystal faked once, put up the shot. He was fouled.
There you can see him going up. And again, he got around one man, but the second guy came in and fouled him. Dan Crystal again taking the ball to the hoop. These young kids today do such a tremendous job of taking that one step that they're allowed to do. I think in the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen more and more of that. And they're taking that ball to the hoop and drawing that foul.
Crystal stands at the line at 2. Misses the first one. Call him the human hitching post because a lot of Valders' fortunes are tied to this man this afternoon. Second free throw is good. Give him 5 for the afternoon. Full court pressure now for the Vikings. This is Kazin. Valders coming with a trap. Brian Ward, number 55, moves so well throughout the ball. You almost forget that Ward goes 6'3", 165, the way he moves in the backcourt.
I like to see the way Wilmot is attacking that press. In other words, when the team presses you, one thing you want to, first of all, get it over court, but attack them. If they're going to double team, somebody's got to be open in there. They did a nice job of trying to create a 3-on-2 situation.
That time, Megan rips the rebound. Wilmot trying to hold on to the ball. They have 5 turnovers so far. Here's Henderson working the baseline. Rebound, Megan twists and turns and puts it up. But it won't go, and we have a foul. And it's going to be on who else? Joe Linsmeyer, number 31.
This Megan is a very, very strong leaper. Him and Russell do an excellent job in there, and you can see that time he went up and got the rebound, and of course then people are jumping around and he drew the foul.
You see Brian Jorgensen, number 32, checking in the ball game for Joe Linsmeyer, who goes out with his 3rd foul. And I said, who else but Joe Linsmeyer? Dick Nelson, as you see him on the bench here, likes to joke that Linsmeyer led Wisconsin in fouls this year. Luckily, he's got someone like Jorgensen on the bench that he can go to. As Megan hits the first free throw with 6:08 to go here in the first half. It's 21-14.
Valders has not had a lot of close games this year. That could hurt him slightly.
And Megan has his first 2 points of the afternoon. They've opened up an 8-point lead. That's the biggest of the afternoon. This is Schwer now, running it inside to Jorgensen. The shot will not go. Chuck Fritzl, number 10, off the Valders bench. He'll be coming into the ball game for number 24, Rick Schuler.
Wilmot has moved into a zone, 1-3-1 zone defense, but again, the guards penetrated well and got that pass inside that time.
Are you surprised to see the zone? Because Wilmot pretty much lives and dies with that man-to-man.
Well, it's interesting. Yesterday, he played a lot of man, but yesterday he started out with a zone, but then when he went to the man-to-man the second half, that was a big factor in the ball game. So today he decided to start with the man, and now I noticed, like you say, he went to his own. A couple guys, a little bit of foul trouble. He maybe wants to protect them and try to get Valders to stop penetrating too much.
Brian Jorgensen, just a shooter at the line, has a nice touch. He has 2 points, both from the line. 22-16. The lead is 6. Wilmot has the ball and that lead. This is Kazin across the sideline. Pulls up, shoots. No go on the bounce. And again, we have a whistle underneath.
Well, you see a lot of battling going on underneath the boards right there, but that time Russell did not have position, and he got him on the back.
Good to Brian Jorgensen, who gets a chance to go back to the line and pick up even more points.
It's a real battle on the boards today, Darrell. Both teams have not only size, but they have some very heady ball players on that front line.
Jorgensen will get off the back of the iron. This is Bobby Crystal controlling the offensive boards. Will pop it from 15. 8 points in the afternoon for Bobby Crystal. This is Randy Kazin now. Russell, who has 8 points, can't get the bounce. Valders screaming for a traveling violation. As it turned out, the Vikings had the ball anyway.
Talking about all the beasts and the big guys on the board, Bobby Crystal comes up with a big rebound and a bucket that last time on the other end.
Dan Crystal short, didn't quite have the touch when he turned around. Here's the breakaway by Hendrickson, takes it all the way. Gets a nice bounce, and the rim doesn't seem to be clutching to the ball today like it did yesterday. A lot of bounces up there on the rim so far in this ball game.
All right, we've got Wilmot in a man-to-man defense now.
Crystal with a baseline jump, and that's his first points in a long time. He has 7 for the afternoon. Brian Ward now has had a hot hand early on. Shoots from the outside. This time can't get it to go. Russell, the rebound and points. He has 10.
Russell, very nice touch for a big man.
Again, Russell had 10 points in yesterday's ball game. Has already matched that. Crystal to Schwer. Schwer drives, dishes off. Has it back again. Having trouble with that Wilmot defense. The Panthers really hanging in there.
Well, we have to see now if they're alternating or what, because they're definitely in a man-to-man this time. We'll have to see if they're keying it on something or what.
This is Dan Crystal. Thought about dishing it off. Instead, he puts up the shot from way outside. Can't get it to go. Wilmot with the ball in a 6-point lead. 4 minutes even to go in the second quarter. Brian Ward gets it inside. This is Megan with a shot. And again, we have a whistle underneath, and I don't believe we've had too many exchanges up and down the court where we haven't seen a whistle.
Well, you see Dan Crystal getting him on the arm. So far, Valders has been content to play behind him inside and make him make that turnaround shot. Now, Dan, you have to do one of two things. You may have to start fronting him, or you may have to try to move another step on the floor and force him a step wider.
Megan, who has all of his points from the free throw line this afternoon, picks up his third. Carl, you just hit on an interesting point. Dan Crystal may have to work a little bit harder than he normally does, considering the size that stretches out across Wilmot's front line.
That's a good point, Bill. You bet.
28-20, 4 points for Megan. This matches the biggest lead of the ball game for Wilmot. Valders trying to change that. This is Schwer trying to dribble through 2 defenders. And we have a whistle once again. We may set a record for fouls in this ball game.
That time Wilmot was in a 1-3-1 zone again. We have to see if we can figure out. There's a lot of different ways of keying the changing defenses. Some coaches do it with signs on the bench, colored towels, and a lot of different ways. Let's have to see if we can figure out the scheme.
Don Kerr, statistician, points out that we've had 17 foul calls already in this ball game, and we still have 3:41 left in the first half. Jeff Schwer stands at the line. He has 3 points this afternoon. Schwer this season averaged 15.5 points a game with 6 rebounds. His brother Steve played on Valders sectional tournament team back in 79 and 80. Never made it to the state tournament. Jeff has made it for 3 consecutive years. This year he's trying to help his team take home the gold trophy. Randy Kazin now with the ball. 3:30 left in the second quarter.
There's a steal.
Here's Bobby Crystal. Has it taken away by Paul Hendrickson on a beautiful defensive move.
We've got 2 tremendous point guards out here in Randy Kazin and Bob Crystal. Kazin, any young guys watching, he's always got his head up, always looking inside. And, of course, Crystal does it all also on his end.
Brian Jorgensen for the outside. No. Jeff Schwer with the alert offensive board again, no good. Ball is loose. Kazin comes up with it. Carl mentioned his head up. He finds Brian Ward underneath. Blocked by Dan Crystal. We have a whistle. That'll be the second foul on Dan Crystal.
And we've got a technical, I'm afraid. One of the guys got a little too excited and questioned the call slightly, and the other official gave him a technical. We have a lot of fouls, but we've got a lot of action going out here. A lot of bodies flying around, a lot of large bodies flying around. You're going to get some fouls in that situation.
Well, Wilmot has opened up a 7-point lead, 28-21 with 3:09 left here in the first half. Stay with us, folks. We're coming back after we hear from the folks who sponsor this telecast. This is your WIAA network station. You see Dick Nelson pleading his case for the referee. A technical foul called on the other end of that foul by Dan Crystal. The technical, I believe, called on Bobby Crystal, number 22, who was trailing that play.
Right, and like I said, we've had a lot of fouls, but we've had a lot of action here. A lot of both teams running and playing tough defense, and you're going to have some fouls.
So Brian Ward, who shot the technical just then, a 60% free throw shooter, and interesting because Kazin shoots 75% from the line. Brian Ward shoots 60%, and I believe we're going to switch it around now. That was Ward shooting the free throw, Kazin now shooting the technical.
Right, you always take them in the order they're called. And I want to get one thing. I know referees don't like to call technical either, but sometimes to settle the kids down, they have to. Because I know these refs, sometimes they get just as psyched up for these games as the kids do. It's a great thrill for them to work in the state tournament.
Well, Wilmot trying to add to its biggest lead. It's 8 right now, 29-21. And a traveling violation. That's a 7th turnover on the Wilmot Panthers this afternoon. So Valders not getting hurt perhaps as bad as one might expect after that technical.
Could have been about a 4-point play, ended up being just a 1 point.
Here's the dish off to Kazin. Has the avenue on the baseline, picks up the shot, it's good.
I'm very impressed with him, Darrell. He's got tremendous body control. He can drive and stop on a dime and go up and down straight so he doesn't get that charge.
And well, you should be. He has 9 points on the afternoon. This is the biggest lead of the ball game. It's 10, 31-21. Valders down by 10. The shot no good, but Fritzl with a rebound. Swear working the wing, picks up the shot. The lead is back 8, 31-23. 2:15 to go in the half. That's 5 points for Swear. Here's Kazin now. He's content to eat up a little bit of time off that clock now. In the paint, puts it up, has the open shot, puts it in. He has 11 on the afternoon.
There again, he recognized the half-court press. He spread it out, ran a give and go, and that created himself a 3-on-2 situation.
Valders not used to being in this position. 24-0 on the season. Swear with a shot. That's 2 in a row for him.
He's a clutch player also for Valders when they need a bucket. And now that time, Wilmot was in the man-to-man. They definitely are switching off on their defenses.
This is Kazin with 11 points to Brian Ward. In Megan. Gets the nice roll, and suddenly the Panthers are hot from the field.
Well, like I say, they're letting them get to that man posting down low, and they may have to make an adjustment here at halftime and start fronting those inside men because they're both good shooters.
This is Dan Crystal with a looping pass. And we have a whistle. It'll be on number 33, Ken Russell.
You'll notice here again, Crystal takes that ball to the hoop so well. And pretty hard to stop that. Again, man didn't have his feet set, and Crystal draws another foul.
That was the 3rd foul on Russell, so he'll go to the bench.
Sometimes, you don't see that now, but as the game wears on, those fouls come back to haunt you as the defense sometimes, can't play it quite as tough.
Each team with one player having 3 fouls as we take a timeout of the action with 1:18 to go here in the second quarter. The lead is 10, 35-25, Wilmot on top. We'll be back after these messages. This is your WIAA network station. A lot of shots, a lot of rebounds. The Panthers holding a 7-rebound edge right now. And, of course, in the turnover department, Wilmot also holding that edge. That's one edge I think Dick Nelson would surrender.
I'll tell you, though, with having two turnovers with Valders has only 2 turnovers the way they've been running, and Wilmot even only 7. 7 is probably a pretty good average for the way both teams have been putting the ball up and down the court.
Eric Nowicki is checked into the ball game for Ken Russell, who sits down with 3 fouls as Dan Crystal hits the free throw, giving him 7 points for the afternoon. Jeff Johnson, number 23, also coming in the ball game for number 55, Brian Ward, who you see sitting down next to Coach Tom Riegel. It's 35-27. Crystal with 8 points. Valders with a full court pressure. Not a situation Valders has been in very many times this season, if at all.
Right. They're any kind of a 2-2-1 press, or in fact a 2-1-1. Yesterday, the Clark Falls was, Monona Grove was using a 2-1-2 against it, so they've changed it slightly. Now, Wilmot's doing something different. They're using 4 men, and as a result, they're finding the open man on the weak side usually.
Jeff Johnson in just about long enough to get his name on the paper. Brian Ward checks back in.
You know, that's what makes this game so interesting. There's so many different presses and ways to beat them, and it gets to be a chess game out there sometimes.
Kazin, as a result of that foul, is at the line with a 1-and-1, hits the first one, and again, Jeff Johnson back in the ballgame. So, some interesting moves on the part of Coach Tom Riegel.
I think one of the keys has been Kazin has settled down and doesn't have any more than those 2 fouls. He is definitely a key to this team. He's taken that press of Valders and taking it to Wilmot's advantage right now.
He has 13 points on the afternoon. It's 37-27. The lead is 10. This is Chuck Fritzl. To Bobby Crystal. Inside to Dan Crystal on a nice pass. Crystal converts. Inside a minute to play here in the second quarter. Kazin quickly up, pulls up, shoots, good from 15.
Then beautiful body control. If there's any young kids watching, that's the key. You've got to go up and down straight. It makes your shot all the more accurate, plus you don't draw that charge foul.
We're trying to force it up inside the lane. We have a whistle. And the foul, I believe, is on number 55, Brian Ward. Yes, it is. That's his third.
Right, as we've said, we've had a lot of fouls, but again, it's because these teams are taking it to the hoop like good teams should, and as a result, they're creating a lot of foul situations.
Brian Ward, disgusted as he just had come back in the ball game, has to sit down now with 3 fouls with 38 seconds left. Jeff Schwer stands at the line. He has 7 points so far this afternoon. Give him 8. Well, interesting, the Panthers, before the ball game, were a bit concerned that they couldn't run with Valders. I think they've proven to themselves that they very well indeed can.
And like I said, absolutely. And, of course, you have to run somewhat. Now, notice Valders is not pressing this time. Probably started realizing somewhat that the press is giving him more problems. That's the big thing when a coach is pressing, to decide whether you want to keep the press on, whether you're giving away high percentage buckets.
25 seconds now to go in the first half.
This time now you'll notice Valders had to come out right away because they've had their warning for the half. After 5 seconds, if they don't come out and get him beyond this hash mark, it's a technical foul.
Good point. Here's Kazin with the ball there, a traveling violation with 13 seconds to go. Valders with the ball back with a chance to cut into the lead even more. It's 39-31. Wilmot on top. 12 seconds now. As Crystal comes across the timeline, shoots the ball over to Schwer. Schwer to the baseline. Back to Brian Jorgensen. 4 seconds. 3. Perhaps rusted just a little bit. The ball up. Will not count if it goes. And that's it at halftime. Wilmot opening up an 8-point lead. 39-31. We've got another half to go, and we'll pause now for a commercial break. This is your WIAA network station.
And now we're going to talk about the annual Sportsmanship Award, which is presented during these tournaments each year. Go down to the field house. Jeff Lenzen from WXOW-TV in La Crosse with Linda Baker of the Wisconsin Bankers Association.
Thank you, Jay. Len, before we announce the winner of the Sportsmanship Award for the girls tournament, why don't you explain to the fans the criteria that you use in selecting this team?
Well, Jeff, this is really a community award, more so than just a team award. The sportsmanship displayed by the team, the coaches, and the fans is important in the selection of this award.
I know it must be a tough decision for you as well. There's a lot of teams down the tournament.
Well, I don't make the decision, but we have a group of judges who attend every game of the entire state tournament. And after the games are all played, the judges turn their ballots in. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner of the girls' Sportsmanship Award last week was West Grant High School.
Again, a tough decision.
Tough decision, I'm sure.
Now we'll be hearing in the near future of the boys' winner as well, I would take
Probably
it.
by about the end of next week when all the ballots are in. Yes, Jeff.
Okay, thanks a lot, Len, for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you, Jeff.
Let's go over now to Daryl Burnett.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Well, there's an old saying, in the basket, in the money, and so far the statistics bearing that out for Wilmot this afternoon, out shooting Valders on the scoreboard, and in the statistical department, 49% from the field to 31 for the Valders Vikings, 85% for the Stripe, Valders 64%, and Carl, I guess that pretty much tells the story.
Well, it does. It's two very fine teams. Wilmot, again, has a guy named Randy Kazin who sets up a lot of things. They've got the inside game and the outside game, and they're being very effective with it right now. You know, let's face it, when you have two good teams, something's got to give, and something's giving here, and it's really, from what I've seen, I think both teams deserve to be state champs. It's just too bad only one of them is going to be.
You see individually, Randy Kazin, the man we were just talking about, with 15 points to lead everyone. Dan Crystal with 11, most of his coming in the first quarter when Valders jumped out to an early lead. Right now the score is 39-31, and Dick Nelson, if he is going to win that state championship, as he likes to call the third time a charm, he's got his work cut out for him here in the second half.
Well, that's for sure. Also, of course, we might see some changes now this half, and Valders has not been behind that much this year, and that could be a factor. The first few minutes of the second half could be very, very important.
Well, we'll be back with those moments in just 1 minute after we return after these commercial messages from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. You see the score as we get set to start the second half. 39-31, Carl Bruging. You just touched on an interesting point during that last commercial break. The teams may have to back off a little bit in terms of aggressiveness this afternoon in the second half. Fouls becoming an important situation.
Absolutely, and both teams, you know, playing so well. They're taking the ball to the hoop so well, and it gets to be a real problem as far as trying to defense that. So they're going to have to, like I say, they may have to back off slightly so that, you know, and stay out of the foul situation.
Checking that foul situation, Linsmeyer with 3 for Valders. I believe Ward and Russell both with 3 for Wilmot. All 3 starters. We'll see how the coaches come out in the second half here, whether they'll start the starting 5 that they went with to start this ball game.
It'll also be interesting to see Valders, you know, when Wilmot was trying to slow it up near the end of the half, had to come out and crush him somewhat, and did quite well. That you may just see him going to a man-to-man. We'll have to see. Dick Nelson from Valders said, hey, we'll do anything to win. We'll play any kind of defense, any kind of offense we'll have to, and we've played them all, so we'll see what happens there.
As we thought, both teams going with its original starting lineup. This is Russell and Crystal jumping center. And immediately, Valders with that pat play, and it's worked so many times this year. And that's a called play. Dick said he'd use it yesterday on the opening tip, and he did it again today. Gutsy. Either you get a layup or you have a chance of giving the other team a layup. They needed a bucket real bad, a good gutsy call. 6-point lead now. Wilmot with the ball and that lead. The shot up to the outside, no. Megan with some tough board work underneath. Gets the ball and the points. That's 8 for him.
Two fine teams out here today.
This is Schuler now. Brian Ward on him, blocked by Russell.
Great job by Russell. Had the body inclined just the handout, kept the body away, and did a nice job.
This is Randy Kazin leading everyone with 15 points so far. To Paul Hendrickson. Taken away by Dan Crystal.
I wonder how many steals he has during the season. He does a great job of anticipating that pass inside.
He really does, especially for a big man. This is Schwer now. Inside to Dan Crystal, the man we were just talking about, tries to muscle it up. Can't get the roll, but he'll go to the line.
Here again, we see fouls becoming a factor. Got up in the air pretty well with him, Brian Ward did, but he was just able to, he wasn't able to get the ball. Crystal goes up so high, he was able to get up over him, and he ended up missing the ball, hitting the arm.
Carl, that's Brian's 4th foul, so he'll be coming out of the ball game. Jeff Johnson, number 23, checks in. So Wilmot having to go with a smaller lineup, with Ward going to the bench with 4. Crystal stands at the line with 2 free throws.
And I think offensively you're going to see both teams continually trying to work it in, because both of them know that the fouls are situated. They're both going to try and draw fouls on the other team.
You see Dan Crystal with 11 points, including Valders, given 12.
I don't think he has any fouls tonight, does he? Yesterday he was in trouble. I don't think he has any today. Dan doesn't.
I'm not sure. He might have picked up one offensive foul early in the ball game.
You're right.
This is Paul Henriksen, number 21, working to the right side. Jeff Johnson has just checked into the game. Megan with a nice move.
Beautiful move by Megan.
Slides it in there just like an envelope. He has 10 on the afternoon. This is Linsmeyer with a turnaround jumper off the glass. Sometimes when Joe puts it up, you don't quite know where it's going to go, but that time it went right through the cords.
Wilmot is in a man-to-man defense right now. Valders still in the matchup zone.
This is Henriksen to Jeff Johnson. Grayson with 15, give him 17.
If you watch, Valders is trying to do something interesting here. They're playing sort of a 1-2-2 zone, trying to have the wings cover the corners, and I don't think Wilmot recognized it and has moved Casey to the corner. They're going to have trouble trying to cover it that way.
45-36, the Panthers taking control of this game.
Look at the beautiful body control that time by Kazin. So looked for it, wasn't there, backed it out.
This is Megan with an offensive foul. With the last trip down, it worked well for him as he slid to the baseline that time. It cost him a foul.
Where we're sitting here, I had a beautiful angle on that, and he had the elbow out. When you look at the replays, you don't really see it, but from the angle we had, you could definitely see he had the elbow out on that one.
And that's the third foul on Megan this afternoon. Schwer calling for the ball. He gets it outside. You know why he wanted it now. 11 points in the afternoon for Jeff Schwer. We have 5:15 to go in the third quarter. 45-38. Kazin walks it across the timeline. Paul Henriksen tries to work it inside, taken away. If you're Valders right now, Paul, do you try and get a bunch back in the transition ball game, or do you peck away and try and get them two at a time?
They've been running all year. They're going to keep trying to peck it in there right away.
And again, we have a whistle.
Foul on Linsmeyer. Again, trying to reach around. Again, excitement showing through here. Not a real heady play. Can't fault him for his hustle, but you got to use your head a little bit. And at that time, he got a little too excited, tried to reach, and it's definitely a good call.
And that's the fourth foul on Joe Linsmeyer. He goes to the bench. Brian Jorgensen checks in. So Ward on the bench with 4 for Wilmot. Joe Linsmeyer sitting down, as you just saw, with 4 for Valders. This is Kazin.
Notice how he's setting up his team, telling his men where to go.
And here again is a steal by Schwer. Behind his back, nice move with the left hand right to the hoop.
How do you stop something like that? You don't. Just a super offensive play. The fans are being treated here to a super game, Darrell, by both teams.
The judicious move of that behind-the-back dribble is so important. That time, the perfect situation to use it. Kazin with a shot at the other end. Silences the Valders crowd. He has 19 on the afternoon. That was his average for the season coming in.
Well, and you know, he said for the season he only averaged 13 field goal attempts a game. A real team player. Coach Tom Riegel said that during the season he averaged about 15, but during the tournament he's been averaging 18. We'll take a look in here again. Nice turnaround and definitely a foul on the inside right there. Again, both teams very aggressively taking this to the hoop.
So Brian Jorgensen stands at the line with a chance to cut into the 7-point lead with 3:59 to go in the third quarter. I sense the pace has picked up a little bit.
And now Wilmot's getting in crucial foul trouble with Russell also having 4 fouls as well as Ward. And that's going to be a definite factor as we go down here. Valders, of course, probably trying to get the ball inside and draw the fouls or get the high percentage shots because we have 2 of their starters in foul trouble.
Eric Nowicki checks into the ball game for Russell, who goes out with those 4 fouls. Nowicki, a 6'2", 165-pound junior. Jorgensen puts up the shot, gets the nice bounce.
You know, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they both have good benches, but that's why you have the guy starting, because they're just a little bit better than the guy in the bench.
Kazin trying to sneak it into the lane. Valders will not surrender the position, and we have a whistle will be on number 21, Jeff Schwer. That's a third on him. So you mentioned the fouls a moment ago, Carl. We might not have everybody left to play this game by the end of the fourth quarter here.
Well, that's it. And, of course, we've got, as we said, we've got 4 fouls on Soren.
Got Ward and Russell both with 4 for Valders. Linsmeyer with 4. We'll make that for Wilmot. Linsmeyer with 4 for Valders. Kazin takes it to the hoop. He has a foul on the offensive end. And that's going to be the 3rd on him.
Again, a hard call to make, although you see on the replay, Crystal had his feet down very, very well. Now, Darrell, we have another problem. We've got a technical on the bench, someone on the bench as the referee came up, said something, and we've got a technical now on the other team. Again, like I say, the hardest call in basketball, but you can see Crystal had his feet planted, and, he's got to call it one way or the other. So we'll shoot the, first we always shoot them in order. So first we shoot the, in fact, we shoot the technical right away because it was an offensive foul. There is no foul on the shot. And you get two throws. Any foul on the bench, whether it be a sub or the coach, is 2 shots. Any foul on a player on the floor is 1. In this case, it's a 2-shot foul. There are no free throws for the offensive foul, just on the technical. Because Valders will get the ball at midcourt.
Well, Swear cannot connect. Will there be a quiz on all that after this game, Carl?
Well, I tell you, last time Wilmot had a chance for a 5-point play, came away with 1. This time now Valders gets the ball out. They had a chance for a 4-point. They haven't got in. Let's see if they score in this possession.
That's a 6-point difference. As Crystal puts up the shot, gets his own rebound, twists it in underneath. There's splice and dice action underneath the basket by Dan Crystal. The lead has been shaved down to 4. We're going to check and see when the last time the lead was that narrow.
Now, as we were saying, we're going to start seeing Crystal couldn't reach to the ball. We want to get the foul trouble. And beautiful move on the baseline by Megan, and he got the basket.
49-43 now. 3 minutes even to go in the period. Shot up by Bobby Crystal. Rebound, Brian Jordan, and Twist puts it up. Bobby Crystal with a rebound. Dishes it off. Schwer fighting inside. Schwer hits the deck, and the ball goes out of bounds. Valders will keep it. Chuck Crystal, number 10, checking into the ball game now for the Vikings. We have a timeout on the court with 2:50 left here in the 3rd quarter. The score 49-43 Wilmot, opening up a 6-point lead. We'll pause now for a commercial break. This is your WIAA network station. You see Valders making his 3rd straight trip to the state tournament. He's had runner-up trophies to take back to Valders 2 consecutive years this year, hoping to make it the big gold one. But so far, the Vikings trail by 6. I've heard coaches tell me that you can trace a lead without looking at the score to the turnover department. Not so in this game. Wilmot with 11. Valders with just 2. The Vikings playing just not shooting well. Here's Dan Crystal, who turned 18 today. Can't get the shot to go. Grab a whistle, and the foul will be on number 21, Paul Henriksen. We were talking about the shooting percentages a moment ago there. Valders hitting just 16 of 49. Is that 16 of 49?
There you see the shot by Dan Crystal. Good position by Bob Crystal, and Henriksen tried to reach over his back and picked up the foul.
So Crystal stands at the line, hits the first free throw. On the other hand, we have Wilmot hitting 19 of 35 shots. That's better than 50%.
You know, in Henriksen's defense, he's about a head taller than Bob Crystal, so there's that temptation to try to reach over, but it's so hard to do without touching him.
Bobby Crystal answers on both ends of the free throws. The lead is down to 4.
Well, Valders is in a man-to-man defense right now. One of the first times today.
That's the first time we've seen a lead this short since it was 24-20. Oh, nice double pump by Kazin, but he can't get the shot to go. Schwer comes up with the ball, and Valders sensing the kill now, down by 4. Chance to cut the lead to 2 with 2:15 left here in the 3rd quarter.
I'm amazed the way this Kazin reacts to the game. They went to man-to-man, hadn't done it for a long time. Right away, he had a 5-10 man on him. So right away, he took him underneath and posted up low, Kazin did.
And Dan Crystal was the miss. Inside 2 minutes now. And Valders goes into the 4th quarter trailing by 2. They have to be thinking back to that technical foul situation where they came up empty on both ends.
I think we're going to have one of those games going to go right down to the wire, and you're going to say all those ifs when it's all over.
Class B, it can't be any other way, Carl.
Absolutely.
This is Wilmot with the ball. The Panthers clinging to a 4-point lead. We have 1:40 left here in the third quarter. Here's the shot by Megan. Rebound, Jorgensen. We were talking about Valders going cold from the field. Now Wilmot a little bit cold from the field. This is Schwer inside to Crystal. Valders choosing to go to his bread and butter.
Beautiful little half hook, half jump shot by Crystal. I think that ball was afraid on that ball. Figured I better get in that hoop or he's going to take the air out of me next time.
16 points for Dan Crystal. You can see the difference without Ken Russell in the ball game. Crystal taking the ball to the hoop. Here's no Wookie inside. Megan trying to muscle up. Gets it out to Hendrickson. We have a whistle. And it will be on number 21, Jeff Schwer. I believe that's number 4 on him.
There you see it. Good job over there getting the ball out under all the pressure, but Schwer definitely on the arm. There you can see another angle right there. Really a war under the boards right there. Nice rebound, though.
Now, will it be a 1-and-1 or a 2-shot because he was dishing the ball back out front? How will the referee see it?
It definitely was a pass. I bet now he wished he'd have thrown it up there. Sometimes some kids will get, a real heady and they'll just throw it at the hoop, but they definitely was passing the ball.
Well, wait a minute now. Not yet on the bonus situation, so the referee pulls him back off the free throw stripe.
That makes it all the more important that he didn't give him the 2 shots.
Kazin, so smooth from the outside, has 21 on the afternoon. Randy Kazin, what can you say about him?
Super ball player.
Chuck Pitzel now. 48 seconds and counting. Into Dan Crystal. Gets a nice spin around and in.
Valders playing the percentages now, getting it into Dan Crystal, and knowing that Wilmot has some foul trouble, they're going to work it inside, knowing they can't quite work them over as hard as they were earlier.
51-49, the Panthers perhaps will go for a last shot. We have 27 seconds left in the quarter.
Valders, again now, notice coming out, they don't want that warning like they did the first half. You've got to come out with at least 2 men, which they're doing out beyond that hash mark. And of course, they don't want to get, they want to get out too hard and give them a chance for a real good, easy shot. Normally, a team likes to run a back door in this situation.
You see the shot from up above, the spread out offense. This is Johnson, blocked by Crystal. And we have an offensive foul on Jeff Johnson, number 23. Well, that was a key call there.
Oh, it was an excellent call. When you see the replay, it was an excellent call. What happens a lot of times, you beat your own man, you beat the man you're on, but the defensive man on the far side was smart enough to position himself so he could have the...
Bobby Crystal put up a long looping shot. Drew next. So we go to the fourth quarter now with a 2-point ball game. Wilmot leading Valders 51-49. Stick around, folks. We have a great 8 minutes to come. Stay tuned now for these commercial messages. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back to UW Fieldhouse, everyone. Darrell Burnett alongside Carl Brueggen. We've got a ball game now. Each team still shooting very well. Wilmot, 55% for the quarter. Valders heating it up just a little bit more, shooting 41%. We're set to go to the fourth quarter. And Valders controls. Again, they had that point on with Bobby Crystal. But the tip went to Jeff Schwer. Valders with the ball and a chance to tie. Bad pass inside by Schuler. And Wilmot has it back.
We're down to nail-biting time, Darrell. We're to the point now where every pass, every free throw, every turnover is going to be a factor.
Paul Hendrickson thought about shooting. This is the man the Panthers will be looking to in the fourth quarter. Cleveland misses. That's Hendrickson following. 4 points for him this afternoon. 53-49. The lead is 4. This is Lensmeyer. Turnaround shot. No good.
Now, Lensmeyer, of course, sat for about 6 minutes straight. He comes in the game, he's a little cold. Plus, that last time he wanted so badly to try to block that shot, but with 4 fouls, he just did not dare. So we're going to see probably more inside game in now with the guys in the foul trouble on defense.
Interesting. Lensmeyer back in the ball game with 4 fouls. Ward and Russell remain sitting with 4 fouls.
That's the thing. Each coach, of course, knows his own team better than anyone else.
This is Kazin. Kind of shuffles and shoots. And we have a foul on Dan Crystal, number 30, on the weak side.
No, I think he just said he hit it last.
Here we see it on the replay. That is indeed the call. The referee pointed at Dan Crystal. I first thought it was a foul. He was motioning that it went off of Dan Crystal's body.
Well, sometimes our fans at home have a much bigger advantage in the crowd right here because the replays have shown the officials on the button every time. And, you know, and the fans in the stands don't have that chance to see that. We're lucky there. We got the best of both worlds here.
We really do. Megan with a shot inside the paint. Hits. And the lead is 6. So Valders control the trip, had a chance to tie. Instead, they find themselves down by 6 points, 55-49. This is Schwer now in trouble, trying to get the ball to Linsmeyer, knocked away.
It'll be interesting to see how Valders reacts here. They've only really had one close game all year long.
That was New Holstein, which went Class A this year. This is Schwer with a shot blocked. These teams 1 and 2 in the state coming in 24-0. The loser has had a great season. The winner will have the frosting. The state championship goes to the winner of this ball game. The Panthers with the lead and the ball right now. Rick Schuler is down on the court. We're going to have an official timeout. Appears he had twisted a knee or an ankle.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it hurts so much. I think he just feels bad. He realizes how important the game is, and he doesn't want to come up, but he's in pain. He's in definite pain right now. Just didn't trip over anything or anybody. He just dove for the ball, and his ankle gave out on him. Can't blame it like you can on some gyms. Sometimes they trip over some of those lines on the floor, but don't have any here.
Look at these turnovers. Wilmot, 12. Valders, just 3. But you can't trace that to the lead right now. I think Coach Riegel will trade the score for the turnovers anytime.
The old bottom line is right up there on the scoreboard, 55-49, that's for sure. And, of course, they've created a lot of easy buckets going for the basket, and you will have a few turnovers in that situation.
Here's Randy Case, and I counted that he's only missed about 3 shots in the afternoon. Here's Hendrickson, deep in the right corner, being hawked by Bobby Crystal. Nowicki back to Hendrickson, short. Rebound Schwer. Knocked away by Hendrickson. He'll get whistle for reaching in. You'll get that call almost 100% of the time.
Right. Got to get Schwer some real credit there. He fell down trying to stop penetration, got right back up and got the rebound, took the ball up, and as you see, was fouled on the reach. If you're going to reach, you should reach with the far arm. And, of course, that's easy for us to sit here and say. The kids are excited, but, wow, we've got a ball game, folks, on our hands.
Well, we're going to see how much depth Wilmot has on his bench. That's the 4th foul on Hendrickson. Schwer stands at the line. That's 3 players with 4 fouls for Wilmot. Schwer with a 1-and-1. He has 14 points on the afternoon. It's 55-50. He can trim it to 4 here. This is the second one. Of course, Jeff last night hit the key free throws down the stretch, and Coach Dick Nelson said before the ball game that he has been carrying around with him for a year the missed free throws in last year's championship game against Mayville that would have given Valders the lead. Valders went on to finish second. Mayville won the title. As we have a whistle down at the other end. The foul is on number 31, Joe Linsmeyer, and that will be all on him.
Yes, it will, and you can see he definitely reached right there. He's an aggressive player and caught up with him a little bit today, but he's a super athlete, and feel bad you have to end your career that way, but this game is a long way from over, and that's why you try to use your bench as much as you can all year, because Valders is going to have to use their bench, and of course they have a good bench.
If it comes down to that, it could be a factor. Linsmeyer leads with just 2 points after 12 points last night and a great rebounding evening. Wilmot with the ball now. This is Randy Kazin, number 45, with a shot. Dan Crystal controls the boards. Rick Schuler, who's on the bench now, being replaced by number 10, Chuck Pitzel with the ball. Schuler has a bruised hip, the same one he injured yesterday. Rising it down right now. He's got to try and come back in this ball game.
Well, you know, it's something last year. One of Valders' starters, their center, got hurt near the end of the game and had to sit out, and it might have cost him a championship.
Kazin behind the back, thought about taking it all the way to the iron, but he pulls up. A wise move. The Valders defense retreating. This is Kazin on the left side. His team up by 5. The clock on their side. This is Nowicki, number 41. Oh, he finds an avenue right to the hoop. I believe that would have been in goaltending had it not gone in.
What a nice move. Here's the substitute in the ball game. He's trying to get the pass out to the guard. He wasn't open, so he did the next best thing. He turned, took it to the hoop, and put it back in.
Got encouraged by Milwaukee. If we look at it one more time, back to live action now. This is Crystal on the right side of Brian Jorgensen. Bobby Crystal, number 22, puts up the shot. Well, the referee motioned first and he went to Wilmot, but it was partially blocked.
Referees can't decide. If he tipped it and they did the best thing, they weren't quite sure, so they're going to have a jump ball. Questioning whether the ball was tipped on the shot. It's a tough move by Bobby Crystal, but I've seen him make it quite a bit this year, moving to your left and then having to take the right-hand jump shot.
So Dan Crystal and John Megan will jump it off with a free throw strike. This is Schwer. Dumps it off nicely to Crystal. Takes the right to the hoop. Will not fall for him. And we have a whistle. Moving on number 41, Eric Nowicki.
There you see again, nice drive to the board. Nice penetration. Got by the first man, and definitely a foul there as Eric Nowicki came over. And again, when you have to come over and help from the weak side, instead of, again, as we've said so many times, instead of jumping up, you're coming towards them because you have to close the gap, and then you end up with a foul so often.
I'm impressed with the way the guys coming off the benches are challenging so often. It's encouraging to be timid when they come off the bench, trying not to make a mistake. Nowicki, last trip down, came off the bench, drove that avenue, got the 2 points. This time we see Pritzel doing the same thing for Valders.
Oh, that's a good point. You could tell they have a deep bench when you have subs come in and do that.
He misses the second free throw. We have a whistle.
Kazin was in a step too quick. And of course, the rule says they can now leave when it leaves the shooter's hand. But that time he got in. The shooter has to wait till it hits the rim. But the man on the line can move in the minute it leaves his hand.
So Pritzel's at the line. For the old NBA, 2 to make 3. Or 3 to make 2. He does.
Oh, he stepped over the line. Dan Crystal literally calling out 2, so they're in a 2-type press. Wilmot recognizes this and comes in now. Psychologically, I think he wanted to put the 2 guys in together to give his team a mental lift. We'll see if it helps. They're up by 7, and now he was able to keep that lead and keep those guys on the bench mentally. Now, emotionally, this could be a big help for Wilmot.
And those 2 guys are Brian Ward, number 55, the man with the ball, and Ken Russell, number 33. This is Paul Henderson, number 21, also working with 4 fouls.
The Valders that time is in a 1-2-1-1 or a diamond press, which they haven't used the whole tournament, and yet Wilmot was able to recognize it right away and choose it.
This is Kazin to Russell. Knocked away by Dan Crystal, the ball loose, but controlled by the Panthers.
We're under 4 minutes now.
Russell with a turnaround shot, no good off the back of the iron. Bob Crystal holds the rebound out of there. The Valders with the ball trailing by 6. 3:35 in which to change that. Schwer tried to loop it inside. Bobby Crystal one out of time.
I tell you, sometimes it's how the ball bounces. They did a nice job, a great job on defense, but the ball bounced around, and Bobby Crystal literally there and puts the ball in the hoop. 4-point deficit for Valders right now. 3:15 left in the ball game.
Now this is Randy Kazin, a man you're going to see with the ball most of the rest of the way.
Interesting to see now if Wilmot brings it out. They may try to do some isolating one-on-one, knowing that they've got some fouls inside.
This is Kazin, 45 of the ball. The Panthers content to slow it down. Nice pass inside to Sean Megan. 16 points in the afternoon for Megan. 59-53. We have a timeout of the action. There is 2:39 to go. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back after these messages. This is your WIAA network station. Welcome back to UW Fieldhouse, everyone. This is the Class B championship game. Dan Crystal leading Valders with 18 points, but Randy Kazin leading everyone with 21. At 2:39 to go. Valders with the ball. And will Valders trying to force it inside, perhaps passing up an open shot from the outside, trying to foul Russell, Ward, or Hendrickson out of this ballgame.
I'm sure they're going to try it inside. They have to play percentage basketball, and Dan Crystal's going to do a beautiful block that time.
By Sean Megan, number 53. So a key play. 59-53. If the Panthers go up by 8 right here, they're going to be tough to beat. Kazin. They'll pull it back out front.
Oh, beautiful basketball. They'll take the high percentage shot if they can get it, but there he saw he didn't have it, had it under control, and got the ball back out. Valders could be in a little trouble right now.
Chuck Pritchell got him by the shoulder as Kazin goes to the baseline. Probably a smart move, although it wasn't an intentional foul because Kazin would have had an open lane right for the layup.
Absolutely, and we're going to get another 45 seconds or so. Valders, if they're down by 6 or 8, is going to have to go for the foul and hope they're going to miss some free throws.
Kazin stands to the line 7 for 7 at the stripe.
From Valders' standpoint, that's not the guy who wants to foul.
No, it is not.
But Wilmot is going to try to keep the ball in his hands as much as possible so that they have to foul him.
He has a 1-and-1. First one is good. A 75% free throw shooter for the year. He's been Mr. Clutch at the line today. 8 for 8.
3-year starter, 3-year all-conference. I think Tom Riegel, I was talking to him Wednesday when they were practicing, paid him a supreme compliment. He said early in the year he was better than the rest of the boys in the team, but he made the rest of them better by getting them the ball and so forth. And now as a result, they're all playing up to that potential.
Right now, Randy Kazin trying to make his team a state champion. 61-53. Inside 2 minutes, Bobby Crystal for the outside. Rebound, Sean Megan, and that's 2 key plays on defense for Sean Megan in a row. This is Kazin, 45. He's going to eat some more time off the clock.
Valders is sort of trying to stay into a zone. They're going to probably have to get into a man-to-man here. Kazan is so valuable to a team like this as he moves around, and they've got the ball sort of in a short corner right now, and they're going to be hard to beat right now. 1:41, a lot of time left, but they have an 8-point lead right here.
Well, we were talking about Randy Kazin. Sean Megan stands at the line with 16 points, 4 for 4 from the line this afternoon. They have really been hot from the stripe.
Sometimes that's what it takes to win championship.
They're in the process of doing that right now, leading 62-53. 1:41 left in this game. Second one good as well. 18 points for Megan this afternoon. This is Chuck Pritchell. And a foul on Brian Ward. That will be all for him.
Oh, and I'm sure Coach Tom Riegel Wilmot did not like that. In defense of Brian Ward, he tried to stay away. But again, Bobby Crystal's been around. He forced that action. He forced it. You see, he takes it in slightly into him right here. Although it was definitely a good call. And Ward, of course, being a little over-anxious. But now, Wilmot's has to use the clock right here. And I'm sure they're going to talk about stay away from fouls because the clock is on their side. Valders is going to try and create contact as much as they can. Try to take the ball to the hoop. First of all, withdraw the foul and stop the clock unless we've got some boys in foul trouble.
Brian Ward leads with 6 points as Pritchell shoots the top end of the 1-and-1. He misses. Megan with a rebound.
And there's another difference now. Wilmot's made about 6 in a row here, whereas Valders missed again.
And Randy Kazin is quick to get court. He'll go to the line. His team up by 10. He is 9 for 9 from the line.
I think that boy is going to play. I'm sure that boy is going to play some college ball. The exposure he got here this weekend, he's a super ball player.
As we mentioned at the top of the telecast, Northwestern of the Big Ten, one of the schools interested in Randy Kazin. He's shown them a lot this afternoon. 10 for 10 from the line, 24 points. And quickly, Dick Nelson and Valders sees this game slipping away.
This has got to be the most frustrating part of coaching when you're sitting here down by 10 or 12 with a little over a minute to go.
Second free throw, no good. That's his first miss. This is just where he'll have to put up a shot. And the ball is loose, gets away. Here's Kazin all the way, blocked by Dan Crystal.
That's number 4 on Dan Crystal. That's good. Dan Crystal really coming over hard. Let's take a look at another angle right here.
Got it with the hips, I think.
Yes, he did. He had a lot of ball, but he also had a lot of body. There's no question about the foul right there. Again, Kazin, you know, you say, well, he should have held it up there. No way. You'd much rather get 2 points and give them the ball. In other words, when you can get an easy shot, he saw he had a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 situation, took it to the hoop, and like I say, you want to work the clock, but if you can get the layup, you still burden hands worth 2 in the bush, they always say, and that's what happened there. Heady ball player.
And a free throw in the basket. There's more headaches for Valders. 65-53. The lead is 12, I believe. That's the largest lead of the ball game. Yes, it is. Second free throw again, no good.
We've got 1:10 left in the ball game.
This is Pitcher from the outside. Valders has gone cold when they really needed the shots. Johnson way ahead, off the hands of Ken Russell.
Russell is mad at himself. He had Kazin coming down the other side. He would have had himself a nice 2-on-1 situation.
Ken Russell smiling a bit because he knows his team has the lead. We're inside of it, and now 54 seconds to go. The shot went up, the foul, and number 21, Jeff 12.
Valders, of course, has to come down and shoot right now. Time's running out. They're down by 12. They've got to come down and take the quick shot, and they've got to crash the boards. They've either got to come away with a basket, or they've got to create a foul. They cannot afford to let Wilmot take the ball up on the other end. Of course, Coach Tom Riegel's sitting over there, and he's saying, why isn't that clock moving faster? Coach, he's sitting worried, and you think of all the terrible things that can happen, but right now it looks like they've got it.
And Jeff Swear has just fouled out of the ball game. You see him sitting on the Valders bench. Number 25, Gene Linsmeyer, comes to the ball game now for Valders. 54 seconds to go. Ken Russell stands at the line. Wilmot, sensing a state championship. His first ever appearance here in Madison. Russell has 11 points. And now a class move on the part of Dick Nelson. Knowing that his team cannot win this game now, he's pulling Dan Crystal out of the ball game. He finishes with 18 points, which is the season average. Both teams now clearing the bench. Tom Riegel saying the Valders is finally giving up and giving us this championship, then I too will go to my bench.
Boy, it's an unwritten code. The team that's behind has to concede first. In other words, you can't expect the team ahead to sub. Dick, I think you said, did a very class thing. Hey, this is a state championship. One of the kids to say, I got on the floor and played in the state championship. And as we said when the game started, there are no losers in a game like this. Two very, very super teams. Wilmot, of course, going to be coming out on top today. They have a super team, but that doesn't diminish Valders at all. They just lost to another good team.
So we have an all-new set of players in the game. This is Pittsburgh, number 10. Ball knocked out of bounds with 49 seconds to go. Ken Russell's going to be coming out of the ball game now. He has his replacement. Ken Russell isn't happy, is he?
There again, Tom Riegel turned out looking very good on the subbing. He saved his two big boys at the end. He went with his team, and I think the nice thing he could do is if Valders had come to the close, a lot of times you'll save a couple guys like that. So if they make a run at you, psychologically you can stop, put two starters, and give your team a little more confidence.
Randy Kazin also checking out of the ball game for the Panthers. Valders with the ball. Trailer. Shot is no good. Rebound, Panthers. Ball goes out of bounds. So Valders will have it back. This is Brian Dugan, number 15. You see up in the upper portion of the screen, the time counting down. Wilmot has won the Class B championship. Scramble underneath for the ball. This is Don O'Boyle. Inside 15 now. O'Boyle with the ball, number 13. 9 seconds, 8. The crowd starting to count it off. We have a whistle stopping the play with 7 seconds to go. The score is 66-53. but I think fans everywhere have to feel sorry for Valders, at the same time feeling happiness for Wilmot. The Valders, 3 consecutive trips down here, making it as far as the championship game only to see the Flowers slip away.
Well, that's right, but yet I'm sure there's about 420 schools in the state, Darrell, that would love to take second 3 years in a row.
Dean Epping makes his free throw. Gets his name in the box score, 67-53. Second free throw, no good. The ball is loose. 5 seconds, 4, 3. Long shot down court, and the clock stops with 1 second to go.
I'm impressed. Both teams should be very proud of their bench. And, you know, that's another thing we haven't talked about. We're going to give the starters the credit here for winning ball games and so forth. But if you don't have a second 5 that you can practice against during the week, you're not going to have a good team. You're not going to improve because, you know, let's face it, you have a 32-minute game every week, but you spend hours on that practice floor. And hats off, and that's why I think it's great that the WIAA introduces all 12 boys to start this championship game. And I always kid our kids, all 12 each stake at Madison if and when we make it. So nice to see the subs get in here and get a chance to show their stuff.
John Zipper steals the ball. Too little, too late. The final, 67-54. The Wilmot Panthers are the 1984 Class B state champions. We'll return after these commercial messages from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA Network Station. You see the final score, 67-54. The Wilmot Panthers winning their first state championship and their first ever trip to Madison. Now let's go to Don Cowan, our public address announcer, for the presentation of our Class B state trophies.
Attention, please. The WIAA Board of Control wants you to participate in the award ceremony for these 2 fine teams that have just completed their tournament competition. Making the presentation will be Daniel O'Connell, Superintendent at Freedom, and Merlin Kilty, Wisconsin Association of School Board Representative from Colby. They will be assisted by John Roberts, WIAA Executive Director. Will the captains of the Class B runner-up team, Valders, proceed to center court and receive the individual team medals? Will Coach Dick Nelson of the Class B runner-up team Valders proceed to center court to receive the runner-up trophy? Will the captain of the Class B championship team Wilmot proceed to center court and receive the individual first-class medal? Will Coach Tom Regal of the Class B championship team Wilmot proceed to center court and receive the championship trophy? Congratulations to both teams. Thank you one and all for sharing in this ceremony.
Well, you see the presentation of the trophies. The Wilmot Panthers, Coach Tom Regal holding that trophy high and proud right now. Dick Nelson, a little bit amusing. He pointed to his fans up in the Valders section, held up 3 fingers and said, "Third time runner-up trophy, what can I say?"
Well, like I said, Darrell, there's about 420 schools that would love to change places with them. Take nothing away from this Valders team. They played their hearts out, and they have a fine team, but they ran into a team, Wilmot, who is an equally, in fact, better team, as we saw here today, and just a super ball game.
Well, if we can look at the statistics, I think we can see why Wilmot won this ball game, shooting 49% from the field. And in a fast-paced game like this, that certainly is going to hold up as great shooting.
Right, and of course Randy Kazan was a definite key to that team. Certainly not, certainly not the whole team, but certainly a key, and set up a lot of the buckets and helped to counter Valders' press. Valders has had a lot of success with their press and caused turnovers and taken teams out of their offensive sync and so forth, whereas Kazan, I think, just completely neutralized it and turned the press to his team's advantage.
Now let's go courtside to Jeff Lenson, who has a happy man at his side, the winning coach Tom Riegel from Wilmot High School.
I certainly do, Darrell. Tom, earlier this week, you told me there's been a lot of lean years at Wilmot High School. They've been waiting a long time for something like this to happen. You have to be pretty good about it.
Hey, it took us 7 or 8 years to win as many games as we won this year. And, you know, you got to believe that sooner or later things are going to work out, and it all came true today.
You know, you came out against a very tough, physical Valders team and really took control of the game inside early. Did that set the tempo of the game?
I thought it did. We knew that we had to at least contain both Crystals and Schwar, and we did a very good job of that. You know, there's a lot of talk in the paper about defense, but I'll tell you, when you come out and play man-to-man against a team like that the way we did, that's defense. You know, that's not sitting back and packing it. That's defense right there.
You know, yesterday you told me that Randy Kazan had just a mediocre game for you. What do you think of his performance today?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't get to vote on anything, but if anybody's ever seen a better clutch performance than the show that he put on today, I'd like to see it. Every time we needed a crucial basket, he got it. You know that. You saw it, right?
I sure did. Okay, Coach, congratulations to you once again.
Thank you.
Let's go back now to Darrell Burnett.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and congratulations, Coach. Wilmot, the Class B state champion. Carl Bruging, let me take this opportunity to thank you for working with us. A great job this year and a great champion award.
Well, I'll tell you, it was my pleasure, Darrell, and I just enjoyed working with you people. You're a real class organization.
Jay Wilson and WIAA Tournament Center coming up next. Stay with us, folks. We're coming back after we hear from the folks who sponsor this telecast. This is your WIAA network station.
Jay Wilson back at WIAA Tournament Center. We just looked outside our window here in Madison, and there's a fresh blanket of light snow in the area. Here's a look at the live weather radar. Madison is at the center, and the lighter area represents the light snow. Our forecasters are predicting light snow for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, and right now driving conditions are just not very good in the Madison area. If you're planning to travel to Madison for tonight's game, please use caution if you do decide to drive. We'll recap quickly the results of today's action in the 69th Annual WIAA State Basketball Tournament. The Class C championship belongs to Fall Creek. The Crickets get 18 points out of Paul Henning, along with 14 rebounds, to beat Washburn 57-46. And as you just saw in Class B, Randy Kazan's 25 points leads Wilmot to a 67-54 win over Valders. Wilmot finishes the year at 25-0. We'll be back to wrap up this session on our WIAA tournament coverage in just a moment. But first, these messages. This is your WIAA network station. One game remains in this year's state basketball tournament. It'll be at 7:30 tonight. We'll have Janesville Craig against Milwaukee King in the Class A final live right here. Again, driving in the Madison area is a little bit difficult right now because of the snow. So if you do decide to drive, please use caution. If you stay at home, we hope you'll join us for the Class A title game tonight. Our coverage again starting at 7:30. Until then, this is Jay Wilson for everyone at WIAA Tournament Center. We thank you for joining us this afternoon for the 69th Annual WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament.